So you just spent between $3,000 and $10,000 on a dirt bike and between $600 and $1,500 in gear to ride it. You've got a million questions. I can help with that. I'm Kyle with Dirt Bike Channel. Stick around. So being in the position that I've been for the last several years, I get a lot of questions, a lot of emails, a lot of text messages, a lot of messages on social media asking, how do I get started into dirt bikes? And there's a ton of questions that come along with it. It's a fairly steep learning curve, and some of us are slower learners than others. I know I was. If you have a trusted friend that can help navigate you through this myriad of questions and how all of this stuff works together, that can save you a ton of headache down the road. Let me get out one thing right out of the gate. I'm not a subject matter expert. I'm not an expert rider or an expert trainer, but I have been riding since 2010, and I have picked up on a few things. I've learned some things by working on bikes. As you can see, sometimes I feel like I'm a fleet manager here with bikes. And I've been riding with guys that are better than me and guys that are just coming up in the sport, and I've learned a number of things. If you're just coming into this sport, maybe it's your first few weeks or it's your first year, I can definitely help answer a lot of those questions for you. I can add a ton of value. I can analyze your gear, analyze your bike, analyze your setup, and set you up for confidence. I am offering 90-minute private one-on-one courses to help answer all of these questions. This is designed for the beginning dirt bike rider in his first year or so, and you can think of it as a primer for your next year of riding to build confidence and to add skill. Here are some of the things that I want to talk about with you when we meet together. I want to talk about basic bike setup. Things like setting sag, spring rates on your suspension. We'll do suspension 101, clickers and rebound, how to set that stuff up, and what is compression and what is rebound and how do the clickers help with that. I want to talk about steering tension on your handlebars. I want to talk about steering stabilizers. I want to talk about tire pressure. I want to talk about handlebar setup. I want to talk about your levers and how they're set up. I want to talk about chain tension, skid plates, pipe guards, and any other protective gear that you might want to look at for your dirt bike. We're also going to be covering basic maintenance topics for your dirt bike. Things like air filters and how to clean them, engine oil changes, how you do it and how often, gear oil changes, how you do those and how often, washing the bikes, how to wash them, what to avoid, exhaust pipes, stock pipes versus aftermarket pipes, and silencers. You know, what's the difference between my silencer and maybe a spark approved or a spark arrested silencer for like Forest Service. Recommended tires. I want to talk about tubes versus tubeless versus moose bibs, advantages and disadvantages, and also how to kind of maintain your chain. We'll also go over your riding gear, the stuff that you're wearing. I'm talking about helmets, how long to use them and when to retire them and what's a good helmet and what's not. Boots. Boots are something I don't want anyone to scrimp on, so I'm going to show you some recommended boots. Jerseys and pants and gloves. Size. We'll talk about sizing on those things and if it's going to fit over knee guards or knee pads and vented versus non-vented. I want to talk to you about base layers. I want to talk to you about chest guards. Do you need it? Neck guards. Do you need that? Knee guards. Do you need those? Knee braces. Do you need those? There's a lot of things. And then if we have time, we're going to go over some basic riding techniques like standing up on the pegs and when to sit. So when to stand, when to sit, things like that. Your basic body position. I want to give you some balance drills that you can practice on your own in your driveway without even going out to the trails. Some really, really cool stuff that's going to affect your riding immensely. I want to talk about front brake tips, rear brake tips, shifting tips. The list goes on and on and on. Now, I typically offer these courses here at my home so that I can spend more time with my family. But if needed, I might be able to travel to you if I'm compensated for time and travel. These courses are $250 and they're 90 minutes. And I promise you that I can add far more than $250 in value to your riding for the next year. I promise you that. I wish that I would have had a course like this available to me that I could have taken advantage of because this would have saved me a ton of headache. I know that I can add more than $250 in value to your setup and to your riding. Yes, I know you just spent a bunch of money on your dirt bike, but if you've already spent between $5,000 and $10,000 on your dirt bike and around $1,000 in gear, let me just tell you that this $250 is going to be the best $250 you will spend in the next 2 years because we will get you pointed in the right direction, make sure that you are establishing good habits and not creating a bunch of bad habits, and you'll have confidence. You'll know what you're doing. I will send you home with a packet of most of the information that we've covered so that you'll have materials to review and to practice over and over and over, and you can email me with questions. It's gonna be great. I've had a lot of good feedback already, and I know that these courses are fantastic for the beginning dirt bike rider. You can schedule on my website, dirtbikechannel.com. Go over there and I have all of the details. Or you can email me, Kyle@dirtbikechannel.com, and we can get you scheduled. Thank you so much.